We'll kind of jump into things. There's a press release sent out about a car building crash that happened early this morning. This was a little after 4, about 4:11 is when we were called. It was a building in the 600 block of North Elmwood Avenue, apartment building. There's kind of I guess it was not a real road, but maybe kind of a path, but this SUV, it was a 2011 Jeep Cherokee, was driving along that, ended up hitting a couple of posts for balconies and then crashed through a cinder block wall into an apartment. There was a 3-year-old boy that was sleeping on the couch. The SUV went through the wall, hit the couch, and the child was pinned between the couch and the wall. They're able to get him out of there, was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. There was also a 37-year-old man that was inside the apartment that was also injured. Those injuries were described as non-life-threatening. I don't have details on those. We had some witnesses that saw a couple, I think there was 3 people, 2 women and a man, left that vehicle and fled, so we don't know who the driver was at this point. The officers did learn that Jeep Cherokee had been reported stolen on October 5th. That was parked in an apartment parking lot, and the key had been left inside the vehicle. So a lot of things to work on at this point in time, but no arrests have been made. We're still looking for information. And obviously, surveillance video or any other witnesses would be a big key play in this and help us try to figure out who was driving and what exactly took place. I think that's mostly all I have. If you have any questions, I can try to answer them.
Do you know, are residents in the apartment, did they have to evacuate, or is the building still safe for them to be in?
That I don't know. You know, typically we don't see a lot of buildings and vehicles or vehicles that are hitting vehicles. It happens from time to time. I know a lot of the time the fire department will help shore up the building to make sure that it's safe structurally. That would be like a temporary shoring, so I don't know if that, I would guess that was the case in this one, but I don't know that for sure. Whether the residents would be allowed to stay there, I kind of doubt it. I saw some of the pictures, and it's pretty devastating, the impact from that vehicle going through the wall. So as far as anybody else in the building, I have no idea if they would be displaced or be able to stay there.
And then the 2 people, the 3-year-old and the 37-year-old that were hurt, were they in the same apartment building, or were they just?
They were in the same apartment. I don't know where the 37-year-old was at the time of the accident. I would guess he was probably in that same area, but I don't know that specifically.
Do you have the name of the 37-year-old victim?
Yeah, we can't give out names of victims, though. The only names we can give out are people that are arrested or charged with a crime.
Do you know if it was targeted at all, or what the stolen vehicle driver was doing in that apartment complex?
That's probably some of the questions that we're trying to work on figuring out. I don't think there was any indication that this was an intentional act. One of the officers noted there was a few open containers of alcohol in the vehicle, so that may have been a factor in this crash, but it seems to be pointing that this was not intentional, that they were trying to drive through that apartment.
The driver or the owner of the SUV, are they Sioux Falls resident? They know that their car's been stolen. Do they have any connections to?
No, it doesn't seem like that. They reported it stolen on the 5th. So there's, obviously they noticed their vehicle was missing. They made the police report, so we had been looking for it, but just hadn't found it at this point.
Have you guys received like security video from anyone, or do you guys have like any that you're looking at this point?
I don't think we've received any video, but that's pretty common this day and age. So I guess if people have any information or know anything, we'd like them to call police or Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers is great because you stay anonymous, but they also have ways that you can submit pictures or video. And so if people want to stay out of that, they can still get that information to police and still stay anonymous.
And then just to make sure, right now it's like not for sure, but witnesses said it was like 3 people? Was that what you?
That's one of the, yeah, there was somebody that, I think they must have heard the crash and then saw 3 people leaving that vehicle. So they thought it was 2 women and a man. I don't know that we've been able to confirm that, but it sounds like there was 3 people. Certainly there's a chance there could have been more.
And they fled on foot?
Yes, they left the,
Another car involved?
I don't think there was another car involved. It sounds like they left the vehicle and then took off running and so I guess we don't have any other details from that.
Were there any other weapons or anything found in the car?
I didn't see anything in the report about any other weapons or any other illegal
Has anyone
instances.
spoken to the management of the apartment complex?
I'm sorry?
Anyone spoken to the management of the apartment complex as far as they're aware of the accident? Or the
Yeah, in cases like that, we usually are able to get hold of some type of management and then let them know about it. So I'm sure that they're well aware of it at this point. Anything else on that? Okay. On the log, I don't really have much. There's a few aggravated assaults. Basically all reports. Some people threatened with different objects, knife, brass knuckles, a gun. One guy was hit with a bottle. We had another that a person inside a vehicle was hit by another person inside a vehicle. But no serious injuries from that, no arrests on that particular case. I think the guy that was hit with a bottle, we don't have any arrests, but everything else, there was arrests that were made. And most of those were domestics. The burglary was a motel room that was entered, no arrests on that. Disorderlies, quite a few of those were phone calls, and then we had some reports that were in there as well. Family offenses, the one fraud, larcenies are all reports, and the vandalisms, nothing concentrated in any area. There were a couple of, I guess, duplicate reports for construction trailers that were damaged, so 2 different ones, I guess. So there's 4 of them, 2 and 2 different addresses, but the same, if that makes sense. So it looks like there was 4 of them, but really there was only 2 of them. Anyway,
I have one more question.
yes.
Can we confirm the other family members in the apartment residence?
There were other people in there. I don't know how many. I'd have to go dig in through the reports to figure that. There's a lot of names that were mentioned. Some of it was people that gave information or came to help afterwards, so I don't know exactly who was in the apartment or how many, but I can do some checking and see if I don't know if I have that information, but if I do, I'll let you know.
And the only ones in the hospital were the
Yep, the 3-year-old and the 37-year-old, yep. Anything else?
I just always have to ask, is there any updates on any of the homicides or the
No.
Tyler Weathers?
No,
bookings?
still looking for Tyler. The homicides are still investigating those. Okay, thanks.